Get out of there. Holy crap, man. Absolutely toast. Yes. Spumps, man. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome. We're going to be getting back into some Shippuden today. Last time we had our backstory with Mifune and Hanzo, that whole dynamic. Y'all, Kishimoto's been surprising me with how well he's been able to balance so many freaking characters. And, you know, even though this is an all-out war, we're getting lots of little, development of characters and their place in the story, or what they're like when they hadn't had that screen presence before. I think Hanzo is definitely a good example of that. Really enjoy getting to learn more about him and Mifune's character, and then being tied together from some past wars and whatnot. So yeah, dude, this war has been surprising me so far. Really been enjoying the balance of action, but also all those characters as well. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into this. I'm assuming we're continuing along with the war here. So if y'all enjoy it, drop a like for me, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, or check out the Patreon. We're usually around 4 weeks ahead there. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. I forgot that we left off here. Oh, he was a brat, you alright. This is the one I'm not looking forward to, especially. I like how he's talking about. Trap me already. Oh, they're showing up too, man. Yes. Streety mess. Damn, they're making them face him. They know him well too, though. Yeah. They don't have the luxury of picking and choosing, huh? Oh, the calm now. Oh, we're getting a flashback. Oh, God. Oh, they're all so small, man. What a throwback. Choji's a gentle giant. Don't pity them. Asuma's gonna beat the shit out of him now. Dang. I like that. Yeah, this was a good moment for Shikamaru too, man.
俺は行くぞ。鹿丸、いいのはどうすんの？長次、アリの仲間をちゃんと見ろ。
Yeah, look at this, man. People are dying left and right, fighting. Gotta put your attachments aside for a bit. Look, even 10-10's in the mix. I actually like that we're finally getting to see a little bit more of her in action. It's gonna be a moment for Choji, dude. Good on you, Ino.
頼むぞ、お前たち。クライは気をそらせるためこれを狙っていたか。
Oh, sheesh. Right to the freaking face.
やったか。
He's gonna grow back, you fools.
ママ追い詰めてくれ。はい。
Keep at it, man, before I kill you.
カトンハイセクション。
Oh. Get out of there. Holy crap, man. Absolutely toast. Aww. You know, Asuma probably absolutely hates seeing that. Yeah, that's brutal. Dude, they're literally gone. They literally were all burnt.
お前ら。 大事な刀を探し出すのに手間取った。さて、角図とやるわ。
Nice, 10-10. Okay, girl. Yeah, dude, this is perfect for her. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's the only problem. You probably should be a little worried.
本部からの指示は聞いた。でも、あそこはライトンで一気に。すみません。実はさっきの戦闘で張り切りすぎちゃって。黒パンサー、レイザーサーカス、ダブル黒パンサー。
You use too much chakra with everything.
チャクラが足りないっす。少し待ってもらっていいですか。おうぞです。おう、本当すいません。俺たちは覚悟できてます。先生も覚悟してもらわねえと。ジョージ、しかもイノ、本当に立派になったね。あんたのおかげだ。
I love this soundtrack.
一気に縮めるぞ。代わりの術、逃げろ。動きが鈍いぞ、ジョージ。返しろ。来たよ。長寿の方へ俺を支え込め。そのつもりだよ。影真似の術。置いて。たとえハッタリでも新天神の術を知っていれば避けるしかねえ。影真似を避けて逃げるとしたら、イノの死角、狙い通り。そしてそこに。
Come on, Joji. You got it, man.
罪だぜ、アスマ。今だ。
If you can do it.
よし。ジョージ、しっかりしろ。覚悟決めたんじゃねえのか。ジョージ。やっぱ僕には無理だ。先生を殴り倒すなんてことできっこないよ。避けろ。あれは風遁風神の術。使わされた。
Oh, Ino, you beast.
大丈夫か。どうにかギリね。なんでこんなことになっちゃったんだよ。今さら泣き言言うな。俺たちでアスマを止めるって覚悟を決めたろ。なんて顔してやがる長寿。今の俺は敵でしかない。死んでいる人間だ。容赦はいらん。分かってるけど。
Just had to play the soundtrack too, y'all. God damn it.
どうした長寿。今は3人でアカデミーに戻りたいのか。長寿、戦え。この臆病者。ダメだな、ありゃ逆効果だ。 長寿はビビって手が出ないんじゃねえ。今受けている痛みと同じ痛みをアスマ先生に与えたくないんだ。あいつは根っから優しいやつなんだよ。
Very compassionate.
仕方ねえな。おい長寿、いい加減にしろこの。
Fatso. Gotta lock him in.
今デブって言ったよね。ああ、デブって言ったぜ。アスマ先生がな。本当？アスマ先生。
そうよ。あんなデブ野郎のパンチなんか一発も俺に当たりゃしないって言ったのよ。
言い過ぎだいいの。僕をデブ呼ばわりするやつは。
Still can check himself even when he's angry, dude. Damn.
ごめんなさい。先生を殴るなんて無理です。でもアカデミーに戻るのは僕だけで、アマルとイノは勘弁してください。
ジョージ、俺の負けだ。お前は怒りにとらわれていてもそれを抑え、相手のことを考えることができる本当の優しさを持っている。その優しさを育んでいけ。いつかその優しさが力に変わる日が来る。ただな、組手の時はな。
それなら大丈夫。みんなを傷つけたりするような奴らを相手にするときはたとえ鹿丸とイノがこれからも僕のこと
そうだぞ、鹿丸。イノ、長寿はデブなんかじゃない。ぽっちゃり系だ。
Pleasingly plump. Damn, yo, that fucking soundtrack just always gets me. My kryptonite.
今なんだ。長寿の優しさは分かっていたが、今は俺を倒すことが優しさだ。
Yeah, put him out of this misery. He doesn't want to be in this state.
俺を止めるんだ。いい加減にしろ、デブ。
デブって言ったよね。
Yes.
僕はデブじゃない。
Pleasantly plump.
ぽっちゃり系だ。
Oh, man. Dude, that kind of hit home for me. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I could definitely relate to Choji's character a bit. The kind of struggling with harnessing kindness in the right direction.
どうしてだ。
ダメだ、長寿のやつ完全に戦意喪失してやがる。
どうしてだ、長寿。
ダメか、
長寿、
よけろ、長寿。
Damn, Ino. Guys, Ino's clutching up.
新天心で長寿に入ったな、イノのやつ。
That was risky. Oh, let's go, dude.
長寿。
この耳のピアスの意味忘れたわけじゃないでしょ。
They got this when they, yeah.
中任だ。そしてここで俺もお前らの担当から外れる。からはお前ら一人一人が隊長になり、新たなチームを率いることになる。このピアスは俺から中任祝いのプレゼントだ。俺たちが第10班のチームだったことを忘れないようにな。そしてこのピアスはお前たち3つの一族において一人前になった証だ。この耳飾りのしきたりのことはもうみんな分かってるな。習いましているリングピアスをおのおのの一族に渡してこい。その時よりお前たちは一人前の忍びとして認められる。さあ行ってこい。
一人前の忍び。
Aw.
カトンハイセクション。
長寿。
長寿さん。
じゃあ
そういや、玉のあの話、あれが誰だか教えてやる。耳風玉ってのはこの葉を担うこれからの子供たちだ。
Oh, I always love this part.
俺と紅の子供がいる。
This make me want to go back and rewatch that arc, y'all.
俺の玉を。
長寿、いい加減にしろ。俺たちはもう守られるガキじゃねえはずだろ。今は守る側だ。アスマに己の子供を殺させる気か。優しさを吐き違えるな。
鹿丸の言う通りのためにそのピアスをつけてんの。
甘えるな長寿。あれは秋道一族の6代目だぞ。
秋道一族。
あの3つのマークの一番右が秋道一族でしょ。
Yeah, like Ino and yeah, the Nard clan. Yeah, cool.
使う3つの一族たち。昔から手を組み力を合わせてやってきた。
That's cute. Little Toshi.
耳飾りが託され結束を強め家族を守るため誓いを立てるのが習わしだ。
でしょ。他の一族の長もつけてたよね。
誓いを忘れぬよう言い聞かせるものとしてピアスをする。愛もいずれ穴を開けなきゃならないんだぞ。
なんで？
長次
That looks dank.
このままで大丈夫なのかな。あいつは臆病すぎる。ようやく下人になったというのに人と争うことを好まない。いずれ任務に出れば敵と相対し命の取り合いもしなければならないってのに、長次は手も足も出せずやられてしまうかもしれない。
Even his dad was worried about this.
あの子は臆病なんかじゃありません。優しいんですよ。
忍びの世界では同じことよ。
だったら優しすぎればいいじゃないですか。
優しすぎれば。
あの子の優しさはあの子だけの唯一無二の武器ですよ。
武器。
まだ臆病と取られても仕方がない。いずれあの子の優しさは大きなものとなる。その優しさをやがてこの葉が必要とする時が来る。だがそれには優しさに匹敵する強さがいる。厳しさがいる。他者の痛みを知り感じ引き受けまたは拒絶しその上で包み込む優しさ。あの子にはその資質がある。
アスマ。
It's a rare thing, man.
これから長寿はいろんなことを経験していくでしょう。忍びの世界では辛いことが多いはずです。でもその度にあいつは強くなり優しくなるはずです。
調査さん、早くこっちへ来てください。今行く。お前に本当の優しさがあるなら今この時を置いて他にないじゃないか。それともお前はただの臆病だったのか。長次、もういい。
They can look very similar at times. He's gonna go through his metamorphosis, bloom into a beautiful butterfly. Oh, he's trying to help it.
でもその蝶はずっとお前の力を借りて生きねばならないのか。今日からお前も一人前だ。今度はお前がその新しいピアスに誓いを宣言し子供へ預け守り育てる番になる。なんだ、僕結婚できるかな。なんて顔って言われてるか分かってるな。父さんだって結婚できたんだ。自信を持て。
Even you can do it. Have the confidence.
時代が違うし、そうそうマニアはいないから。
ああ、長次、宣言の時だ。愛の言葉は知っているな。
Man, they're just ramming me with these songs, man. They're killing me.
何人たりともこの最後の一口は渡さない。
ありゃ、もう体は心配ねえな。
早速修行付き合ってよね、アスマ先生。
最後に長次、しかもお前たちに言っておきたいことがある。長次、お前は仲間思いの優しい男だ。誰よりも強い忍びになる。自信を持て。少しダイエットし
So all you gotta do, man, is try your best.
と思ってた。大人になってけば自然と心も体も強くなってくと思ってたのに。
Yeah.
戦争が始まるんだ。
Doesn't work that way. As an adult, you just have to be the one to be mature enough to accept what you need to do, grow in the right ways.
なんか怖く。
I really like this, the way they're depicting this, like almost like the little movie, like old movie streaks and stuff, like the film.
やっぱ僕には無理だ。先生を殴り倒すなんてこと。我ここに誓う。秋道16代目当主として15代目より託されし誓いを17代目となりゆくわらべへと託す。ごめんよ、僕はもう大丈夫。代わってくれ。秋道長次は山中奈良両一族を守り木の葉の里を守るためいざさなぎから蝶へと羽ばたかん。
Yes.
長次、
Goosebumps,
変わら
man.
なきゃいけないんだ。
薬も使わず羽を出しおったか。長次。
And so that's true, man. Last time we saw this was when he had all the those special food pills, right?
そうだ、その顔だ。
幼児が痩せてる。昔一であったあの薬を。
大丈夫だ。己でやってみせた。
さなぎの殻が思ったより硬かったんだ。長次、さて、こっからは飛べるな。
もちろん。
俺は上へ行く。調査の
He's got it now.
長 がいつも迷惑かけてすまない。それもこれで終わりだ。あいつは今秋道16代目としてふさわしい男になった。
アスマは俺たちでやる。そっちは頼んだぜ、おっちゃん。こっちへ招き入れろ。偉そうに。こっちからも行くべきだろ。
No, they need they're the most important assets to them. They need to freaking wait, not get caught up in it. They lose them, they're screwed. Yo, she can control multiple? That's dope, dude.
影縫いの術。
ナイスだ、長寿。
Oh, yes.
長寿、その顔だ。お前は誰よりも強い忍びだ。自信満々のいい顔してやがる。
Confidence, the resolve, the direction. What's so small with him?
俺の形見で型をつけてくれるとはな。感動で動けねえよ。
影真似手裏剣の術ってんだ。動けねえのはそのせいだ。あとは俺たち封印班に任せろ。
あら、あの時言えなかった一言付け加えさせてくれ。お前らにはもう何も言うことがない。まさに完璧なイノシカ長だった。
It's a proud sensei.
アスマ先生、ありがとう。なんだ。
Damn, Choji's crazy, man.
僕がこの戦場を終わらせる。だから鹿丸、イド、協力を頼むよ。よし。
正直あんたと今までいたけど、これまでで一番説得力があるわね。
Yeah, it's because he's confident what he's doing now, man. He knows what he stands for. Oh man, dude, those were really good episodes. I really loved such a deep look into Choji's character. I think it hit hard for me because it resonates with me a lot at a personal level. Just like the almost overwhelming empathy you have for people, that like the kindness that, like when you have that much, it can make it difficult to take action for yourself and for the people around you even. It can be like confusing, I feel like. Yeah, no, we'll talk about it a little bit more in the review section, but I really, really love those, y'all. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get the review section for 273 and 274. Huge focus on kindness, the paradox of kindness. Yeah, Choji is such a great character to flesh this out with his struggle with, truly having just such a, not having a mean bone in his body, right? Just being filled with compassion and empathy and kindness towards others, but maybe not himself quite as much. The paradox of kindness, the, how amazing it is to be kind to one another, but at the same time, the, just, kind of the damage you can do with it too, to both yourself and others. I think we see, kind of what someone who does struggle with what Toji does, what they need to do is to be able to discern how to use their kindness, to step into their strength, to build strength and resolve and confidence to be able to discern how to use their kindness is the kind of the cure to just being enveloped by the empathy for others and to not take action or to not have initiative to take action and almost appear as someone who's a coward instead, right? You need to be able to take confidence in yourself to discern to actually still take action, not to be just frozen in your empathy for others. And I think that's conveyed really beautifully with the scene that we got in the flashback of Choji watching the caterpillar go through its metamorphosis and bloom into a butterfly, and the butterfly is unable to fly at first, and Choji's trying to blow up at it to help it fly. And I love what his father says, which is like, you're very kind for doing that, but are you just going to expect this butterfly to rely and take your strength for it to live? And Choji has to accept letting the butterfly fall into the ground, but eventually it can fly. So you kind of have two options with kindness. There's the kindness to kind of protect others and the kindness to empower others, and we see that with the butterfly there especially, but you also see it with Asuma challenging Choji early on to like hit him because he's thinking too much of Shikamaru and Ino's feelings, or not wanting to hurt them, not wanting to put them through pain because he's strong. But Asuma flips it on his head. It's once again, it's like, hey, like, if you do kind of unleash your power here, that it will challenge Ino and Shikamaru to get stronger too. You'll empower them. It's not necessarily just as simple as, oh, if you hurt them, that's bad, right? Pain is sometimes a good thing. You see that also mentioned from Choji, how he doesn't really like pain. And I think that's the thing with people who are really kind, is that they're so kind because they're so sensitive to pain. They understand how difficult pain is for themselves and then for others as well. And so when you have such a sensitivity to pain, it can, really hurt, kind of make you confused around your confidence or what's right or wrong with your kindness. I'm not sure if y'all know sort of the reaction, or obviously I said it towards the end or kind of in between the episodes, but this really resonated a lot with me. I actually can personally relate to what Choji struggles with. I think in my life, the empowering versus protecting is something that I do struggle with in different spheres or different relationships, but it's also the whole, somebody really needs to be mean to me for me to take action to kind of protect myself or others, right? Like, I'm very understanding to people. I understand because I'm very kind to people. I can sense their pain, right? But it's like in this, it's represented for Choji. People call him a fatso, right? That kind of builds some anger within him, and he can usually act a little bit more directly in those cases, although he still struggles with it. He can still absolve his anger through his kindness as well. But that you kind of need that anger to eventually actually take action, and that's very true for me too. Like, someone really needs to do something really mean to me for me to finally like have a backbone to speak up for myself. Or even if it's like a conflict between friends, I often see both sides, and I might not call one out over the other because I understand both of them, even if one maybe is more in the wrong than the other. It's very difficult for me to call people out because I don't want to hurt their feelings. I want to be kind and thoughtful to them, but it really is such a dichotomy because if you live in that, like, it's almost like fear, right? And I think that's why it comes off as cowardness, is because you're stuck in this fear of not wanting to hurt somebody because you understand, but oftentimes hurt is necessary for change, or to empower someone properly, you need to let them go through that process of pain, let them get stronger. And if you rob people from that, you're kind of not stepping into your strength of your kindness, right? To be able to discern, not stepping into the power of that discernment to empower versus protect. I think oftentimes it's a little easier to just protect, not necessarily empower. And I think a good example of that too is with like parents. Parents, when they're raising their kids, there's those parents who are like very, very protective, kind of like the helicopter parents, always looking out for their kids' safety and wanting what's best for them, right? But ultimately they kind of rob their kids of their independence and self-confidence, their self-esteem to maybe fail in the world or to get hurt and get back up. Those parents might be Choji in this scenario with the butterfly, trying to help it, but the moment their parents are gone, when they enter the real world, life's not like that. You need to, as a parent, you can't be overly compassionate for your kid where you don't let them fail at all or don't let them fall down. I totally could see myself struggling with that as a parent, to kind of have some discernment to let my kids kind of go through that process. So yeah, it's a very challenging thing, and for me at least, it's really frustrating because it's so confusing, because it feels like you're living through your authenticity, but it really makes relationships complex if you don't have that discernment and you're kind of just like overly kind. Like, I think I've mentioned on this channel that I struggle with like people pleasing, for example. I think that's kind of an aspect of being overly compassionate, but a lot of times I think it's a little twisted too, because it might feel like compassion, but in reality you are being coward. You're kind of being a coward to step up to that to that sensitivity of others, to that pain that you need to go through to do what's right for the other person, to empower them, to let them go through pain instead, or to protect them or protect yourself, honor yourself from what someone's doing that might be disrespectful to you or mean to you. So yeah, man, it definitely hit really hard for me. Let me know if any of y'all struggle with that. I'll be curious about y'all's experience with it, because for me, it's something that I'm actually like actively still trying to unpack in my life as a person. I think I've come a pretty long way the past couple of years, but I feel like it's going to be kind of like a lifelong journey, learning that discernment and building that resolve that Choji had, right? You know, Asuma pointed out, he's like, as long as you have that face, you know, the resolve there, the confidence, you know, him challenging him to have that confidence before he died, you know, that's really where we all need to be if you're somebody who really struggles with this. But it's very hard to have resolve or confidence or a compass when you're kind of like overwhelmingly feeling this, you know, the pain of others, or, you know, you're just that kind to be able to see others' perspective. I really liked what Asuma said to Choji's father when, you know, Choji's father's kind of like a little concerned about if he's even going to be able to become a chunin at all, because like he might never be able to step into that strength, or, you know, maybe he'll die in the battlefield because he's indecisive, and he calls it cowardness, but Asuma corrects him. He's like, no, it's kindness. You know, Asuma talks about what he needs, and he says he needs the strength that rivals kindness, needs the intensity to recognize others' pain, to feel and accept their pain, or reject it, but still envelop them in kindness. So it's kind of like, it's not like you deny your kindness, it's that you develop this strength and resistance to pain, right? To resistance, you know, to, even though you might see someone's pain, and whether you accept it or reject it, you're able to still be compassionate for them, still be kind to them, still be empathetic to them, but still have the strength to do what's right, to know what's right. And I think that's the hard part, to know what's right for you and the other person. That's always a very challenging thing as a really empathetic person. There's times where it's obviously easy when someone's like hurting, and, you know, you can kind of just be that person for them because you can understand their pain or feel their pain, and just to open space for them, that's, you know, kind of that secret weapon. But it feels like a double-edged sword on the flip side. But I really like that the narrative here is that you can be kind and still have the biggest soul or heart of kindness there is, but still do what's necessary because of stepping into your strength, into your power, to still to still take action for what is right to you, or right for the other person. Let's go ahead and do the character ratings for MVP. I'm gonna give it to Ino for, dude, she clutched up in these episodes. She saved Choji a couple of times. Like, I really like seeing her, and I think it actually really reflects what Asuma described, you know, like when he was passing away. He's like, you're strong-willed and dependable here, right? Takes the action that's necessary, unlike Choji, who's kind of faltering here and struggling to make a decision. Yeah, really enjoyed that Ino kind of got more of a spotlight here. Best moment, I'm going to give it to Choji, when he actually does step into his strength and discerning, you know, what to do with his kindness. And in this case, obviously, kindness is, you know, helping his sensei move on. It's not anything, you know, kindness in this case is actually, you know, letting his sensei go. Like, hurting his sensei here isn't really hurting him. It's helping him move to the next life once again, right? I figure we're gonna skip over the funniest and Sako. Not really anything too much there. More of a serious episode. No real bad characters. But I do want to get a shout out to Tenten as well, with the special tool from the Sage of Six Paths. I think that fits her really perfectly. Now, obviously, uses a lot of chakra, so I'm wondering if she'll end up using this long term. I could totally see her using a tool like this long term if she's able to like have enough chakra, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. They definitely made it seem like, you know, you need to have a huge amount of chakra to really be able to use these tools effectively, like have like a beast chakra or something to channel into instead of your own. But yeah, cool seeing more of Tenten as well. All right, y'all, I think that'll do for this one. Let me know what y'all thought about these episodes, the reaction and the review. Appreciate y'all joining me today, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Peace.